Shalom. In 1998, I traveled to Ethiopia during the Festival of Timkat. But what drew me there was not the celebration. It was the presence of the most important object ever made by the people of Yisrael. The Ark of the Covenant, the Aron HaEduth, which contains the Aseret HaDvrim, the 10 matters spoken by the voice of Yahweh at Har Sinai. This is not legend. It is not hidden forever. The Ark of the Covenant is in Axum, Ethiopia today. I'm Moria ben Avraham with Talmidei Yahweh. Today, I'm going to share some of the details of my trip to Axum, Ethiopia in 1998. Please take a moment and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of the important information we share on this channel. Now let's get into it. During the Festival of Timkat, many processions are held in Ethiopia with replicas of the Ark of the Covenant called Tabot. In fact, every Ethiopian Orthodox Church has a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. But the actual Ark of the Covenant is in Axum. This is a well-known fact in Ethiopia, not even questioned. While I was there, I was given the opportunity to speak with the high priest of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in Axum. He held the ancient title Nebura Ed, meaning the fist of a tiger. He confirmed what I had long believed. The true Ark of the Covenant is there, protected, revered, waiting. To stand on that ground, to speak with the guardian of the Ark, was to witness something few people ever do. And yet, the Ark's presence in Ethiopia is not a mystery. Its journey is recorded in Tanakh and in history. Now, you might be asking, why was the Ark taken from Yisrael? As we read in the book of Shemoth, the Ark was first made by the hand of Bezalel, who was given special gifts to create this Ark, as commanded by Moshe. And just as Moshe was commanded, he placed in the Ark, in the Aron HaKodesh, the 2 tablets of stone. They are called the Eduth, the testimony. Those were placed in the Ark. We read in Shemoth chapter 25, verse 16, and you shall place into the Ark the Eduth, that is the testimony, which I will give you. Again, we see in Shemoth chapter 31 and verse 18. And he gave Moshe the 2 tablets of the testimony, Shnei Lukot HaEduth. That's how you say that in Ivrit. The Ark traveled with Yisrael in the wilderness. It entered the land of promise with Yehoshua. And many years later, when Shlomo, the son of King Dawid, King Shlomo made the temple, the Ark was placed there. It was literally the throne of Yahweh on earth. It was a physical representation of Yahweh's presence in the midst of his people, Yisrael. But sadly, our ancestors didn't obey Yahweh. First, the northern kingdom of Yisrael was destroyed and exiled. Then came the reign of Menasheh, who did what was evil in the eyes of Yahweh. He filled Yerushalayim with idols, sorcery, and bloodshed. He placed abominations in the very Beit Yahweh, the house of Yahweh. Just listen to what was written in Melachim Beit, that's the second book of Melachim, 2 Kings, chapter 21, and we'll read through verses 3 through 7. Verse 3, he rebuilt the high places his father Chizkiyahu had destroyed. He erected places for sacrificial slaughter for Baal, made an Asherah, and worshipped all the host of heaven. In verse 4 it says, he built places for sacrificial slaughter in the house of Yahweh, of which Yahweh had said, I will establish my name in Jerusalem. Verse 6, and he made his son pass through the fire. He practiced soothsaying and divination and used mediums and spiritists. He did great evil in the sight of Yahweh, provoking him to anger. Skipping down to verse 7, then he put the carved image of the Asherah that he had made in the house, which Yahweh had said to David and to his son Shlomo, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen from all the tribes of Yisrael, I will put my name forever. Because of this, the ark could not remain. Faithful Kohanim, descendants of Zadok, removed it before it could be defiled. They carried it first to Elephantine, yes, down the Nile River, an island on the Nile River in Upper Egypt. There, a Jewish temple stood and operated for over 2 centuries, from about 650 before the Common Era down to 400 before the Common Era. Archaeologists have uncovered papyri written in Aramaic in the 5th century, known as the Elephantine papyri, which confirmed that the temple was built by Jews, that they worshipped Jehovah, not Egyptian deities or idols, and the temple was standing during the 5th century before the Common Era. It functioned with a priesthood, offerings, and observance of Passover and the other Hagim or Moedim. This was not a pagan shrine. It was a deliberate continuation of the worship of Yahweh outside of a corrupted Jerusalem. From there, the island of Elephantine, the ark was taken further down the Nile River south to Tana Kirkos, an island in Ethiopia. So it traveled the path of the Blue Nile right on up to Lake Tana, and there it stayed for 800 years. Then it was brought to Axum, where it has been preserved right down to this very day. This journey is not found in legends. It's preserved in Tanakh, archaeological records, and Ethiopian oral tradition. And no, the Queen of Sheba had nothing to do with it. Let's be clear. Many people try to connect the ark to a romantic myth between King Shlomo and the Queen of Sheba. But that is not written in Tanakh. In fact, in Melachim Aleph, that's 1 Kings, chapter 11, verses 1 through 3, that tells us plainly which foreign women Shlomo married. And King Shlomo, it says, loved many foreign women in addition to Pharaoh's daughter, Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite women. But did you notice there's no mention of the Queen of Sheba among his wives or concubines? The story of her bearing him a child and that child bringing the ark to Ethiopia is pure myth. Preserved in the Kebra Nagast, a book written more than 2,000 years after the time of Shlomo. This is not our history. It is a legend added long after the exile. I had an opportunity to meet with Yosef Hadaneh in 1997, the first time I traveled to Yisrael. He's the son of a Kes, Raphael Hadaneh. A Kes is an Ethiopian priest, and he's the first Ethiopian rabbi. Yosef Hadaneh and the Beta Yisrael leadership rightly rejected the claims of the Kebra Nagast. The ark did not arrive through romance. It was rescued during rebellion. It came with the Kohanim and with many Israelites who traveled with the Kohanim to the land of Ethiopia, who were faithful servants of Yahweh. Its presence in Ethiopia is a sign, not of royalty, but of exile. The same evils that drove the ark out of Yerushalayim, idolatry, bloodshed, and the rejection of Torah, are the same evils that led to our exile among the nations. The curses we find written in Vayikra chapter 26, that's Leviticus chapter 26, and Devarim 28, Deuteronomy 28, were not just prophecies. They were warnings. We were scattered. We were enslaved. We were made to forget the name of our Elohim. But the promise of Yahweh remains. When you are in the land of your enemies, if then your uncircumcised hearts are humbled and you return to me, I will remember my covenant. That's in Vayikra chapter 26, verses 40 to 42. Now is the time, Yisrael. It is time to put away the idols of silver and gold, the idols of nations, the false religions, the false names, the false identities. The ark is still there, not destroyed, not lost, preserved, just as we are in exile. And just as the ark will return to the land of Yisrael, so will the remnant who choose to return to the covenant. But Teshuvah must come first. Return to the Aseret Hadvarim. Return to the Derek Kodesh, that's to the path that is holy. Return to Yahweh, not in word only, but in obedience. Now is the time, Yisrael. We were scattered for our rebellion, but we will be gathered through our return. If you're ready to return, if you're seeking to walk in the covenant with Yahweh, join us at talmideyahoah.org. We're a growing community of Bnei Yisrael, scattered across the nations, studying Torah together, keeping Shabbat, learning Hebrew, and walking the ancient path back to Yahweh. We have weekly Torah readings, Hebrew classes, Shabbat gatherings, and resources to help you walk the covenant path. Come learn, come walk, come return. Visit talmideyahoah.org and begin your journey of Teshuvah today. Shalom, shalom.